The Spring Grove Lions opened up the season with a nice 28-7 victory over Mountain Lake last Friday night. Week number one or week zero victory for the Lions. Head coach Kody Moore joining us. And coach, obviously a long trip out to Mountain Lake, but a happy trip back. What got it done last Friday?
Well, I think, the big thing for us was the fact that we were able to start fairly fast. I loved our balance on offense. I think we were, right up around the 200-yard mark with both between running and throwing. So that was good to see. We came out really talking about making sure we played physical up front. And I really felt like those guys, Brandon Yankee, Sean Crouch, Ethan Crouch, and Josh Newgard, our starting guys up front, they really did a nice job of coming out, firing off the ball. Jacob Olerud ran physical downhill. We talked a lot about that. And so I love to see the way our run game played. I thought that was huge. And then defensively, I thought we did a good job. We settled in. We actually pitched a shutout on defense. The one touchdown that we gave up was on our kickoff, so special teams coverage. So something to work on there. But overall, we're filling some big shoes in terms of some injuries we've had with Emmett Engeldinger and Elijah Solem. So it was good to see those guys that are stepping in those shoes do a real nice job. Bryce Burns did a good job at quarterback, made plays, and so overall a good team win against a very good Mountain Lake team.
I know a lot has been made of the couple of key injuries that you have had, and it's one thing to say that you have that next man in mentality. It's another thing to go out and prove it. How have those guys just stepped up mentally, knowing the fact that they're going to be playing some roles that perhaps they didn't expect to play, but it's your job to get the job done?
Yeah, you think, I was thinking, hey, we've had good practices. Those guys have had good practices leading up, but until you put your feet to the fire in live competition, you don't know for sure. And so, what I hope and I think they did is these guys gained confidence in the way that they played on Friday night. And, the fact that all their offseason work, these injuries, one happened fairly early in the offseason, one happened fairly late, but we had a little bit of time to get right mentally leading up to this point. And I think that helped a lot. And, I love the way that Josh and Bryce stepped in and filled those shoes.
And you talk about the physicality that your team has played with. How much of that is just the work they've put in the offseason? How much of that is a mindset of, hey, we're going to go out and this is the way we're going to play? Come right at us.
Yeah, it's a mindset. And I think it actually, we talked a lot about this last year, Darren, and the fact that we have a mix of guys that were playing last year, some as well. I think it's filtered right into this year. So that's great to see. You know, Physical mindset is everything. We talk about it all the time. And I love the fact that we set the tone with that last year. And so far, after the first game, I feel like we're right back up at that level where we want to be in our program. And hopefully that continues.
And I know a lot of games last year, you got off to good leads and you got to play quite a few people in a lot of those games. Does that pay a little dividend as you get to the next season and ask those guys to step up?
Oh, I think so for sure. That's a great point, Darren. The other thing about it is when you have an extended season like that, again, we played into December. Think about all those extra practices that you get throughout that season as well. And those guys, they're at every practice. They're doing everything that we do there, either on a scout team or they're on the actual team. But so I think that was something too that maybe at times it gets overlooked with teams that have success in a previous year, the amount of practice that you get leading into the next year. And again, those guys, a lot of them have got experience on special teams. So you've been in that environment of varsity football, the speed of the game. And so it was great to see the way we started there Friday night.
And as cool as it was to get a win last week, I'm assuming you won't mind not having a 3-hour bus ride this week as you're back home taking on the Southland Rebels. What are you expecting out of Southland Friday?
Well, we went out and out to their scrimmage, so we were able to scrimmage them there a couple Saturdays ago, and I was very impressed with how physical they played. And then again, they played Lanesboro there Friday night, and they looked very physical. I think that's what you're going to see. They fly around, they're physical in the trenches. So we're really going to have to match that physicality and rise above. And I'm very impressed with what Southland looks like. After watching film, I think they're they're very much a top 2 or 3 team in the section. So it's going to be a really fun matchup. Home opener. Like you said, it's nice not to have that 3.5-hour trip. I know our guys are excited about that, just to get out on the home turf, and should be a great atmosphere. I expect a lot of people there, and it's definitely a section 1, a great matchup in section 1 between 2 teams I think you're going to see playing late into the year. So it should be a great Friday night, Darren.
All right, Kody, hopefully you can get the home opener to go your way on a Friday night. Keep kids healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks a lot, Darren. Appreciate it.
Kody Moore, head coach of the Spring Grove Lions, home opener against the Rebels of Southland this week.